This is great news. This is from ABC 5 in Cleveland. Ohio lawmakers propose making breakfast and lunch free at schools.
And there's a bipartisan bill in Ohio State to try to get breakfast and lunch as free at school for all the kids, whether it's a charter school or a regular public school. Great news, especially because charter schools are probably going to be where everybody's going soon. So
yeah, I know
once they completely got the Department of Education, then they change everything to a voucher system.
Yeah,
which is around the corner.
All we do is privatize and hedge fundinize all the schools.
But
so
like once in a while, there's a good piece of news, and I love to see that it's bipartisan. I think that's great, right? Feeding kids shouldn't be a left-right issue.
No, and like in many countries, they would look at this and be like, wait a minute, you send your kids to school?
Yep.
And they're not fed at school? You got to bring your own lunch or bring money? That's insane. Yeah. We've talked about this before. I remember a couple of years ago in Waukesha, Wisconsin, they refused to take federal money to feed kids because they were like, no, fucking shit on you. Yeah. That's why.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Just why are we living in a world where it's controversial to feed kids?
Why is it, and that's one of the things too, I was even listening to Joe Rogan recently, and I forget exactly who he was talking to. I think he was talking to Warren Smith at the time, where he was talking about how we need to just educate people. He's like, we need to do a better job at educating people. And I'm like, dude, the people who you just voted for and the people who you just platformed on your podcast hate the education system that's in this country. Yeah. But not just hate that, they love the uneducated. I mean, he literally said it out loud.
Said it.
So, but even people like Joe Rogan recognize that you have to educate people. They don't know how to do it.
No.
And they would fuck it up if they were in charge of it. But I think we've got to do a better job of educating people in this country. And we've got to do, I think that's another thing that, I kind of got a whiteboard put on the side where I'm like, what are the things you need to make sure you do if you get in there next time? And it's revamp education system. See, there's no good things about what they've done so far, but there is a bright spot in the sense that if they tear everything down, at least you can try to build it back up in a better image. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
So it's not good that if they're gonna gut the entirety right of the Department of Education, but there is a bright spot that if you can get in, stem the triage as quick as you can, and then change it to a good system that starts producing quickly, that'll make it much harder for them to fuck with it afterwards. I think that changing some things around in the government isn't a bad thing. It's just that, the way in which they're doing it is a horror, and it's going to hurt a lot of people.
Oh yeah, man.
And I think they don't care about that. I think the problem is maybe, in the past people have had too much kid gloves with changing things around, but this is just too much. It's way too much, and it's going to hurt. It's not just hurt people in our country, hurt people around the world.
Well, and the thing is that the change is just the demolition. But I mean, beyond it being bad, the change is not we're going to expand this thing. Where the change is exclusively, we're just going to demolish it.
Yeah.
We're just going to reduce it and destroy it and eliminate it. And I don't really think none of that is what we need.
Yeah.
We need none of that. This is from the BBC. Woman, 74, charged under abortion protest law in Glasgow. A 74-year-old woman was the first person arrested under Scotland's new law banning protests outside abortion clinics.
Awesome.
She was charged near Glasgow Hospital for breaching an exclusion zone while holding a sign that read, "Coercion is a crime, here to talk only if you want." The Abortion Services Safe Access Zones Act took effect last year. Fucking good.
Yeah.
Good.
We need that here, man.
Yeah, we do. We won't get it.
Bunch of fucking judgy fucks walking around with your signs, tormenting people who are making a medical decision.
Yep.
Doesn't include you. You're not involved in this fucking equation. You're not going to do anything to help that kid if it does get born.
Yep.
So go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's just, that's not real protest either.
Yeah.
It's just shaming.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It's a public shaming of something that has no shame attached to it.
Yeah.
For sensible people.
Absolutely.
It's a fucking public shaming.
Yeah. I'm glad they're doing it in fucking Scotland too.
Me too, man.
We import that shit over here.
Good.
Import it over here.
Yeah. I think it's 200 meters is their rule.
Yeah.
So all right, you want to protest. But you cannot do it right in front of where somebody's trying to get fucking medical care. Get the fuck out of here.
Here in the States, they have to have these people who follow the women around with like umbrellas to like cover their face because people will take their picture.
Yeah.
They're like following them around. They got these fucking, we have those megaphones. They scream at them. They're showing them pictures of stuff that isn't even an abortion.
I know.
It's like fucking Chicken Kung Pao or something like that. And they're just like, look at what you're going to do in there. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. It's insane how much they attack these poor women.
There's an abortion clinic right by the grocery store I used to go to. It's like in the same like plaza, there's like a Planned Parenthood. And so then they do abortions there. I shouldn't call it an abortion clinic. There's a Planned Parenthood. They do a lot of things there.
They do a lot of things there.
I should not call it an abortion clinic. The only reason I was thinking of it that way is because there are frequently protesters outside of it. There are frequently protesters. And like every time I drive past, and they'll sit out there in the rain. They'll sit out there in the cold.
Yeah.
They'll sit out there all the time. And I'm always struck that like, I do believe that these people are passionate about something they think they have a real moral conviction around, right? And so, because they're sitting outside in the rain, you know? But sometimes you can have a passionate moral conviction and be fucking wrong.
Yeah.
That's just a true fact.
Well, I mean, like if you're that passionate, go work at a foster care center.
Yeah, man.
Like if you're that passionate about helping kids, there's plenty of kids out there that need help.
Yeah.
They exist right now.
Exactly right.
There's a lot of ways to help those kids. Go do that work.
Yep.
You know, but instead what they're doing is they're attacking pregnant people for just making a decision about their life. And oftentimes, 93% of the time, it is a tiny clump of cells.
Yep.
It's not what they envision it to be,
right?
You know? And we used to live across the street when I lived downtown with Sarah. We used to live across the street from a Planned Parenthood. And every Saturday-ish around there for a couple hours, there would be people standing outside. And, you know, you're in downtown Chicago, so people would be standing outside and you just hear a bunch of fuck off, you know, that sort of thing.
Good. Yeah.
And, but most of the time, you know, I think the greatest thing to do is just pull up and be like, hey, can I get all your names? I'm going to go inside and donate in your name right now. I just want to get your names right. You know what I mean? That's the best way to do it. Just walk in and be like, yeah, how many are you? All right, that's $10 a head. I'll be right back.
Yeah, good.
You know,
awesome.
That's $10.
Bring a buddy next time. I'll donate more.
That's $10 a head.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week. Cognitive Dissonance will be back on Thursday with a funny show. And we'll have the same set because we've decided to change things around. And I threw one of those tables out. So at this point,
that's it. It's gone.
This is it. This is
the end of an era.
But do us a favor though. Go to YouTube and take a look at the new set. See what you think. Maybe you got to start watching us instead of, you know, I don't know, listening to us only exclusively. And while you're there, subscribe and like and all that stuff. All right. Catch you next time. We're going to leave you like we always do with the Skeptic's Creed.
Credulity is not a virtue. It's fortune cookie cutter, mommy issue, hypno-Babylon bullshit. Couched in scientician, double bubble, toil and trouble, pseudo quasi alternative, acupunctuating, pressurized, stereogram, pyramidal, free energy healing, watered downward spiral, brain deadpan, sales pitch, late night info docutainment. Leo, Pisces, cancer cures, detox, reflex, foot massage, death and towers, tarot cards, psychic healing, crystal balls, Bigfoot, Yeti, aliens, churches, mosques and synagogues, temples, dragons, giant worms, Atlantis, dolphins, truthers, birthers, witches, wizards.
Now you got a choice. Face or
nuts. Shaman healers, evangelists, conspiracy, doublespeak, stigmata, nonsense. Expose your sides. Thrust your hands, bloody, evidential, conclusive. Doubt even this.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/dissonancepod. Help us spread the word by sharing our content. Find us on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Threads, all under the handle @dissonancepod. This show is CAN credentialed, which means you can report instances of harassment, abuse, or other harm on their hotline at 617-249-4255 or on their website at creatoraccountabilitynetwork.org.